This is the leads interface in Treya. A lead is a person that leads to business. They can be a prospect for your services, or they could be a strategic partner that helps you find people that want to use your services. You can get to the leads screen by clicking on the leads button in the sidebar. Once you're in the lead screen, you can create new leads by clicking on the plus button in the top left corner. This dialog allows you to enter contact information about that lead. Each field is optional because you may not have all the information for a lead up front. If we want to go ahead and enter a lead, we can enter email, name, other information about them, and click Save. Once we have that lead in our system, they're going to show up here at the top of our lead list. If we ever want to go back and change information about that lead, we can double click on their name and change that information here. We can also change the company that they belong to. For example, I have a typo, by double clicking on this column and entering the new information. If they have an email, if they have a phone number, we can hover over it to see it and click on it to copy it to our pasteboard so we can paste it into any application that we use to send email. You can also take notes about a prospect. It's useful as you're going through the sales process, identifying opportunities, finding out more about this person, that you and your team are going to want to be able to keep information about them, about the things that they're working on, their interests, and other things that will inspire conversations. If you click on the View Notes button, you're brought to the Notes interface, and you can add a note. All the notes that are entered across your entire team will show up here in this interface. You can also set up actions. Actions help you plan and stay on top of your contacts. Right now, Warren doesn't have any actions associated with him. So we'll double click on the actions cell, and it's going to give us an interface that shows us a couple different action options as well as a calendar. We can pick a day on the calendar, like this Friday, and choose an option like email. And what we're saying here is that we want to send an email to Warren by this Friday. Leads also have a status. When we create a new lead, the status is set to uncontacted. That means we need to get in touch with them. Once we've got in touch with them, we can put them into a category such as prospect or strategic or archived. We use prospect for leads that might lead directly to business. We use strategic for people that we want to keep in touch with, but they themselves might not be using our services. And we use archived if we don't really see a future path forward with this particular individual. Archived leads are removed from this spreadsheet once you archive them. You can always go back and look at old archived leads by clicking on Show Archived Leads in the top right corner. We can return back to our active leads by clicking on that button again. Another thing that we can do is we can assign a person on our team to be the owner of that lead. If I double click on the owner cell and select my name, that means this lead now belongs to me, and these actions are my responsibility. This is a good way of delegating responsibility across other folks on your team. Another thing that we can do is we can search our leads. Right now, we don't have a lot of leads, but as we get more, we're going to want to be able to filter this list down to find important information. We can type anything that we see in the lead spreadsheet into the search bar, and it's going to filter it down to those items. For example, I could start typing in a name. I could type in a company. I can also type in an owner. I can even type in days of the week that specify when actions are due, such as Friday, or actions that are overdue. In addition to being able to search, I can also sort. For example, if I click on the action header, it's going to sort these by date. It's going to put the earliest items first and the later items last. And I, of course, can flip that order. I can also sort alphabetically. I can also sort by when this lead was entered into our system. And that's an overview of the leads interface. You'll use this to stay on top of people who might lead you to business.